then let's go, I would say.
Yeah, you can start with your opening
Okay.
statement. I'm gonna have 10 minutes.
Uh-huh. Although almost every good conversation or debate starts with defining the important terms used in the thesis, I will leave the exact definition of what communism is up to my opponent. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, since he will have to defend it, I neither want to strawman him nor alleviate him from the pain of having to explain the exact workings of a system. Furthermore, I am confident that as long as it does not differ too extremely from what communism conventionally means, my criticism will apply no matter what type of communism he defends. For now, I think we can simply agree that it is an economic system, i.e., a system for managing available resources, and neither a form of government nor of philosophy or ethical framework. This means that when I say that communism is bad or communism is worse than capitalism, I don't mean morally bad. I mean practically bad, as in doing a bad job at what it is supposed to be doing. I think that all forms of communism are inherently bad at managing available resources, but for different reasons, depending on which implementation we are talking about. So before I can go into any details, we will have to see which type of communism is going to be proposed by my opponent. But generally, I think there are three arguments that can be made. Firstly, the communist analysis of surplus value only takes into consideration work, meaning the time it takes to produce something, but is not valuing risk that was taken, which is equally as necessary not only for production but especially for innovation. An economic system that does not reward risk taking will never be able to create and innovate at the same level as a system that does. Secondly, in a fully communist world, there are no markets. Therefore, there are no prices based on supply and demand, which makes it impossible to make any rational calculations about the outcomes of our economic decisions. We simply do not have values that we can put in our optimization functions. There have been attempts to replace the classical prices by other forms of prices, but these only create bigger irresolvable problems. Last but not least, I think in order to get to communism, we will have to do bad things in the moral sense of the word, either to get there or to keep the system the way it is. We will need violence to create the system, and we will additionally need a lot of surveillance to keep the system in place. Two things that are, in my opinion, not only dangerous and morally wrong, but would also result in a big decrease in our freedoms and therefore in our quality of life. That said, although I'm a harsh critic of communism, it is not that I don't have strong sympathies for the philosophical and ethical motivations behind wanting to create an egalitarian society. I was calling myself a communist at some point in my life. Even now, I would not say that I'm a big fan of the way our current system is playing out, and I am well aware of many problems our current system has. But, and here I strongly disagree with my opponent, I definitely think that these problems, just like they have been in the past, are more than solvable within a free market economy if we have a strong state that is fearlessly regulating and meaningfully redistributing wealth to the people that need it. All right.
All right. And then I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna set the timer and I'll go. The definition of communism that I will be using, that I use often, is a, let's say, system in which there is no state, no money, and is is mostly workers' democracy, so mostly direct, and there are forms of, let's say, there is still the government. There is just not a state. It's mostly localized, and yeah, that is what communism is for me. And well, we don't know if it works or not. It could work on papers, but nobody really tried it. We didn't even achieve socialism in any other place, and socialism is the step required, as of Marx, for example. He was the main, say, idealist of communism, and he said that socialism needed to be the first step into then going into communism. Communism to work needs to be mostly uh, let's say, globalist thing. It can't really work in one country because at least the state would need to be still able to have a military so that it can not get invaded. So basically the most authoritarian things in a state will still be able to happen, and it's not good. So there's a long way to get there, but yeah, I think it will be the best for all. Yeah, we can go into the open debate.
All right, cool. First of all, thank you, Citra, for. Actually, I was debating somebody else, but that person didn't come. So Citra is just like um,
I'm
helping
filling
us
in.
out here. You're filling in, and also I have already written it into chat, but I think nobody will see it. It's I'm streaming this debate just so you guys know, but none of your names are in the stream. I just stream my face. So yes. Okay. Yeah, first of all, what I don't understand is you said stateless society, and then you said, but there is some form of government. Can you please elaborate how you would make that difference? So, what is there? Are there laws? Is there police? So, let's say, is there legislative? Is there an executive? Is there.
Probably there will be no police, but
Okay, I
it
have
will
a
be more
problem.
localized.
Yeah, just one quick thing. When you say probably, it's not really fair, because like what
Oh
we
yeah,
were
you're
talking
right.
yeah, what we're talking about is like we're talking about what you want to change something. So you have a proposition to change something, then I think you have the necessity to be concrete about it. Like
Yeah, okay.
um
Then
so
yeah, there will
yes,
be
there will
laws
be
to follow,
police.
but there will be,
Mm-hmm.
and the police would not be centralized. It will be mostly just it will be a like international organization, but the rules that they follow would be like they would be varying from probably community to community. I don't know how big some of them will get. I don't know. That always depends on the state, on the people. But yeah, that would be the change. And it would be mostly not the police that we know today. It will mostly be people, say, coming together to help the people that got damaged
Okay,
and
can we can
try
we simple
to resolve the issue there.
can we simplify
Obviously, for
this?
bigger crimes. Yeah.
Can we maybe simplify this for you and for me? Because I feel like I have stated in my opening statement that I want to talk about the economic system, which is called communism,
Okay.
right? So it's really difficult when now I also have to prove to you that anarchism is a pretty bad idea. So, but I would say, like, couldn't we, if you agree with it, couldn't we just say, tell me, like, is 100 people, is that enough, small enough for having a society like 100 people to is that small enough to have like an economic system within?
I don't quite understand your question here.
I mean, what you basically have said is that, yeah, we would have everything that we have right now, right? But just in a smaller scale, like regional. That's how I understood it, and like in a
Now, this is
democratic way.
only the police. This would only be the police. Like, obviously, there will be bigger, like, international trade. Like,
Wait,
there would
wait.
be there. It
Before we
wouldn't be
go into
trade. It would
international,
be, yeah.
we don't even know what the national is going to be look like. So do you have
Yeah, but
laws?
communism would be.
Do you have one book of laws that is valid? Let's start with the nation. We have the nation of Italy, and this nation, is there one law, one book of like, or is everything just the same? You can also just say it's everything that's the same, but I feel like you
It's
said it's
probably
not the
gonna
same.
be it's gonna
Probably.
be probably global.
Why
Okay,
probably?
it's gonna be, let's say,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
It should be.
it
Yeah.
should be, let's say it should
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be is better.
Mm-hmm.
It should be the really like agreeable stuff, the most agreeable stuff. It should be like a constitution for all of the nations, but it would vary to nation, and it would vary to community even, maybe. Yeah, community even, like small cities and stuff could have different arrangement, but they would have to not break any of the, let's say, bigger laws.
Do you understand that I have really difficulty grasping what you're saying because I really don't know at all what all of this means because it's like we would have really agreeable, cool stuff in the constitution that sounds like yeah, but what? Like what would be? And also, we don't have to like make the whole case for anarchism. It would be enough to just say, okay, all the goods are being produced by workers. The workers own the goods that they produce, so everything is being. I mean, we have examples of that. Are you in favor of a planned economy?
Yeah,
So, okay, the market. If the market does a market exist? Do we have a market in your system?
there will be no market. There will be
There is no
mostly,
market. Just planned. Everything
yeah,
is planned, right?
yeah,
Okay.
that will be it.
Okay. Then I'm asking you the question: what is the deciding factor for what to do? So you have no market, right? So therefore you don't have supply and demand. You just have
You
one
still would have
government.
supply and demand.
How your price
People
is not
just need,
sorry, you don't have prices
yeah,
based on
people have,
supply and demand.
yeah, yeah, it is based on supply and demand also
How? There
because
is no market.
any,
There is no
yeah,
exchange of
people
goods.
can
How
say
is
what they
the
want.
sorry?
People can say what they want.
Can say what? Can say talk? Do you mean?
Yeah, they can ask what they want. Yeah, that would be the demand, and the government would choose the supply.
Yeah, but there is no value attached to that demand. So everybody can just randomly ask something. So do you think about surveys? Do you think like we should do like every day do a survey and write down like a wish list every day? What we want?
Yeah, why not?
That's what you mean?
People, yeah,
So okay, cool. So do you think that if everybody sits down in the morning and writes a wish list of what they want and
of course it wouldn't be like
do you think
like
no and
different things
yeah.
would require different time. So of course, if you want something that is being produced in America, you cannot ask for it in the
Let's say we
in
have a global
1 day.
let's say we have a global communist society. Let's say it's global. It's the whole world.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's just say for the sake of the argument. And you could theoretically also ask for a PlayStation. Okay? And
okay.
then you would basically so you're saying that the new value of the new price that you have instead. So things have a price or do you just get everything that you want?
Probably you would. Sorry, you should get as much things as your work. Like like you should have amount of things that you can ask based on the value that you produce with your work.
Okay, so there is something you get, something like a wage, right? That you get from working. So like tokens, let's say work tokens, right? Is that what you mean?
It would be it wouldn't be money for sure. It would be mostly say we would we should treat the workers mostly the same. So if you don't have special needs, you everybody should get about the same of everything.
What do
Of
okay,
course,
wait. I'm
this
working,
one wrong.
okay? In your ideal society. Me and you, we are both working, right? So we work today, we work 10 hours. Okay? Both of
Okay,
us. So at the end of the day, what do we get for this 10 hours? Or does it even matter how much we
it
worked?
depends on what is available. For example, I don't know if let's say a new thing is discovered, maybe a new model of phone is discovered, and
So
they are producing it, and we both need it, and we did the work for to get it,
what does that
and
mean?
there is
Wait,
enough.
what does it mean we did the work to get it? You didn't answer that question. What does it mean to do enough work to get an iPhone or a phone?
Means working like
No, but mathematically, what does it mean? Like that there must be you know that every like otherwise I can say I worked enough, but maybe I didn't. How would you know that I worked enough?
just by your history, like your work history.
Okay, I worked 10 hours. Is that
Yeah,
enough?
say
Is 10 hours enough for an iPhone?
it probably would take more,
Why?
but
Why? What's the rationale
if
behind
your
it?
if your phone is like if you already have a phone and you are not in need of a new phone, you just want it,
No,
then
I don't have a phone. Or maybe I have a
if you
phone, but what's
don't,
the
then it will be provided. If you're doing
okay, I don't yeah.
if you're doing work and you're not just doing what you want, you would probably get a choice depending on the
Okay, so
work that you're doing.
I only get the things that I don't already have. Is that the rule?
If you want things that you don't that you already do not have,
Or
you
or
will have to work for it.
but we don't know how much I have to work to get something. Maybe I can just work 1 second and get a new phone.
Yeah, but it mostly would be it is not based on mostly how much you work. It's mostly based on are you working or is it available? Like it's
It is
mostly that.
available. You could give it to me or you could give it to somebody else. You just have to decide at the end of the day,
Yeah,
you have to
then it will be
decide
probably
what I have
goes
to
to a
do. You have to decide what I have to do in order to get that. Any resource in your
it
system.
will be
Because,
based on meritocracy, I think.
wait, you are
If there is a
sitting,
scarcity,
you are the king,
there
King
is a
Citra,
scarcity of
sitting, you are
okay,
sitting on a mountain of goods, okay? And you have to decide which goods to give to whom, right? So,
okay.
how do you do that? So the food, how do
How
you do
many
that?
of them do they want?
Do, do you just cut everything and just give everyone a little bit? Do you think that's an efficient way of distributing food?
Depending. Of course,
Probably
I'm
not,
gonna
right?
ask for how many of them want and what is the how much do they want of it, and then I'm gonna decide based on the quantity of food that I have.
Okay. Let's say you have let's say that was good. I don't think it's really efficient, but you think it's efficient. I accept that. Let's say you have done that. Now you're left with the food. What about titanium, platinum, like all the stuff that you have? How do you distribute this stuff? Based on what? Who merits the stuff?
This is probably better to divide it based on how are people efficient in processing the material, for example, and on the need
Oh,
of the people.
efficiency, right?
We
You
need
want to like
yeah,
who would be the
efficiency.
most efficient, right? You can't
Yeah,
know how would you find out? How would you find out that somebody
based
is more
on how
efficient
much
than the other
product
one?
they provide.
Yeah.
Like if I give, let's say, 10 kilos of aluminium to a guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Mm-hmm.
gives me, I don't know, 10 iPhones, and I go to
Uh-huh.
another one and he gives me
Yes.
12,
Yes.
I would choose the guy who gives me
True.
12 if the
Yes.
product is like on the same level of
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when the
let's
quality is the same.
if the quality is
Okay.
the same, yeah.
Yeah, that's really true. But what do you do in this example? Let me give you a textbook example, okay? The textbook example is like that. You are the king, and you have to decide. You have to build a train. You have to connect one city to the other, okay? And between these two cities, there is a mountain. You have two projects that you can fund. One project goes through the mountain and costs you 10 units of engineering and 3 units of steel because it's a shorter, it's a direct way, but it takes more engineering work. And the other one goes around the mountain, takes more steel, takes 10 units of steel and 3 units of engineering. Which one is the better way?
What would I choose, huh?
The result is the same.
Result is the same.
Yes.
It's just that one takes less effort,
Yes.
less material.
Yes.
I would choose that one if there are no other. Say,
Why?
for example, people could because it's more efficient,
How do you know?
because they require less material to get the same thing.
Yeah, but human like the human effort is also a resource that you need on other places, right?
Yeah,
Let's say it's
we
not
would
let's say
calculate.
it's not
We would think like, for example,
let,
if those places are connected by, let's say, by the sea, by naval, by another thing that is not a train, then I would say that building a train road would be unnecessary.
no wait, we are in the hypothetical you don't think that there is situations where you're exactly in that situation where you have to decide whether building something, creating something, producing something with one way or the other way is in question. You have
Yeah,
to
I'm just
you don't think
wait.
that situations like these exist?
Did you ask me if like I already gave you the answer, the one that is most efficient with the resources,
But
right? Are you asking me another thing?
efficient doesn't mean anything. No, you haven't answered the question because you can't tell me what efficient means in your model because you don't have any
Efficient
prices
would
attached
be
to the goods that you're calculating with. You're trying to make an optimization problem. You say saying something is the most efficient is basically a linear optimization problem, but you don't have any variables to fill in. You don't have any. You say okay, I have 10x plus 3y, and in the other case, I have 3x plus 10y, but you have no idea what x and y are. So you can't know which one of them is going to be more effective. So let me give you a way out,
you're
okay?
saying that basically you're saying that I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that we have two examples, one in which what was it? 10, 10 places of steel and 3 engineers, and the other one was it?
The other way around.
10 engineers and 3. Okay, so I didn't quite understand the question.
Yes.
I would say definitely the one that takes only 3 engineers.
Why? What makes engineering less? What makes it more efficient if you have less engineering?
That completely depends on if you
You if
have the
it
necessity to
depends,
use.
if
Yeah, it
it
depends. It
depends, but
completely
if it
depends, right?
depends, you have no answer.
No, my answer is it depends. For
That
example, we have
that
already
means,
used. We already like we are sitting on a pile of steel. We don't have a way to use it all.
but you don't know
Then
how valuable
using
steel
10
is.
pieces of steel is not a big deal. maybe we have people that are doing nothing, then like engineers that are doing nothing, then maybe the 10 engineers is the best option.
But do you
Like
realize
it's
that every
completely
time you say maybe, you're saying that you don't know. You cannot know.
no, I cannot know because this is an example in which you are not
No
giving me the full
matter,
picture here.
you can fill in the picture. You can say, okay, if I have value X, like if you could say, if I have 10 units of engineering available, I'll choose the one with engineering. If I have, you can fill in these gaps, but no amount that you would concretely say would tell you anything about what's the best way.
Wait, money would? How
Yeah, money
so?
would, price would. A price would tell you how much, which
How?
one is more efficient. This the one that is
How?
cheaper. The one that is cheaper. There is less demand for.
Not always. Definitely not always.
What do you mean?
What if the cheaper option takes a lot more time?
But that
How do you
efficiency,
figure this out?
efficiency is efficiency. Do you realize that efficiency is a question of optimization? You can optimize for time or you can optimize for cost. You can optimize for whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So money doesn't solve it. You also will have to say maybe.
but we already said that the result is the same, so we don't optimize on
Same
time.
time, same
Same
things.
time and same result. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If the, let's say, engineers that are working on this thing,
You can also.
even if, let's say,
Mhm.
it costed less, the 10 engineers one, how could, for example, there could be an option in which you would want those engineers to do another thing also, and now the other option is better?
Forget about you don't have to get confused by the engineers. You can also just ask yourself titanium or platinum. One costs 3
Y-
titanium, the other one costs 10 titanium, and the other way around. You would never know which one is better. Even in theory, you wouldn't know.
Of course, I would, the one that takes less. That would
But
be obvious, right?
yeah, but why does it mean that when it takes less, it's better? Maybe you have an abundance of it.
Then if they take the same result, I'm still going with the less. Are you crazy? Like, why would I waste resources like that?
Of course you don't, but you don't know how much demand there is going to be for one and for the other. Could be that even though you have lot of that one material, okay,
Mm.
and very few of that other material, that first material where you have a lot of, you have a huge demand for that. You have
Oh,
no way of of
if there is
formalizing.
demand, then I'm gonna go with the other one. But
What does
I
that mean?
surely know the demand
How do you know the demand?
that people
In
would
what are
demand
you measuring the demand?
based on what people want,
Yeah,
what
the
people
wish
have
lists.
want.
The
Yeah,
wish
the
lists,
wish list.
right? Yeah, but you don't know
Yep.
how much they wanted, right? Or how much they needed.
No, we would have to. They would have to say how much, what material and stuff.
Okay, I'm writing down a wish list. Okay, I have written down a wish list. What I want.
Mm.
How do you know how much I need this material
How
and how
much you
important
need it.
it is? How important it is to give it to me, bro?
Well,
You're the king now. You have to
first
decide
thing it
everything.
would be, yeah, it would be. Do you have a thing that does the same, the same? Let's say, for example, if you have a smart phone and you want another one, let's say maybe we should give it firstly to those who don't still have it, who don't still have one, Or maybe you could trade it. You could give the
Bro,
phone
you
that you
cannot
don't
say
like.
maybe. You are the king. You cannot say maybe.
Yeah, but these
We want
kings,
answers. We want answers. The public wants answers. The public is asking
okay.
you,
Then the people
king,
who don't
decide
have a
who's
phone yet
getting.
will get a phone.
The people who don't have a phone yet will get a phone, right?
Yeah, that's the decreement of the king here.
The decrement of the king is the people who don't have phones will get phones, right? So,
Yeah.
and in production, oh wait, also when they do nothing, also if they're just like don't contribute to
Yeah,
society.
having a phone is pretty essential.
Okay, so I don't have to work for it, right?
Yeah, phone it wouldn't be depending
What's
on
the
the model,
rule?
but having
Do
a
you have a
basic phone,
rule? Do you have a rule for when somebody gets something for free?
yeah, if they really need it, like
Yeah,
if
but
it, for example,
who
costs
decides
the
what's
internet,
being needed?
if I'm the king, me.
Okay, okay, yeah. That's exactly what it's boiling down to. You're basically just blindly making decisions because you don't have any other choice. You
No,
have no
because
way, you have no
said that
way
if I
of
were the king,
mathematically,
then
you have no way of mathematically saying if giving
so basically,
wait,
wait, are you saying that if a billionaire wants to buy 1 million phones, and we
yes.
only have 1 million phones, and there are 1 million people that want a phone, we should give it to the billionaire? You're saying
You
this?
don't understand
This
the
is a
problem.
more
No.
good, it's a better way.
No, I
But
don't
you
understand the
clearly don't have
question.
an answer.
I don't understand the question. Can you rephrase it? I don't understand what you mean.
Let's say we have a billionaire that wants to use his money to buy only phones, all the phones
Yes.
that are available right now, and
Yes.
there are 1 million phones. He buys them all. The
Yes.
people that there were 1 million people that needed the phones,
Yes.
they're just gonna stay with the phone. Why?
Yes, because we're gonna produce new ones.
Who said that
That's
we were
just the
gonna produce
rules.
more?
That's just the way the rules are. Do you see how
Wait,
in a free
I
market?
didn't understand. In Africa, there is no food, but they clearly want it. Why are you not producing it? Why are you not giving them?
Wait, we don't have to talk about the problems of our current society.
No, the
That's
thing
not the
is, if you
topic.
want, I give you
You
an
can
answer.
wait in my system, in the system that I'm defending in capitalism. Is this problem solvable of children having
Of
hunger in
course,
Africa? Is this solvable?
of course.
Of course it is solvable. So it's not an argument against my system. I'm telling you things that are not solvable in your system.
They are easily.
No, they are not. Tell me how
No,
you could say, give me like okay, if you ask me, how do you know which way to build the train between two cities? I can tell you in 1 second. I just have to solve a linear algebra problem. I'm done. I can
yeah.
make a calculation. I can calculate which is the most efficient. I can tell you
Can you
exactly
calculate? Can you
which
calculate what people
wait.
want
Yes,
with the
I
algebraic?
have a
Yeah.
very good estimate of which product is more needed than the other one because my price is telling me the scarcity, how much people want it, and everything I need to know about this product.
Wait, there could really well be artificial scarcity.
It could be. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying there are no mistakes, but in your system, you don't even know. You have no basis of saying anything. And you don't even know after you've made the mistake. For example, if I, in capitalism, if I make a wrong decision, if I, for example, start building the railway, right? I start building the railway based on my optimization problem. I look at the price of both ways and I decide for one over the other. And in the meantime, the prices of the other one skyrocket, of the other raw material. And at the end, I've made a wrong decision, right? I've chosen the more costly option because all of a sudden everybody wants that other raw material. I was not able to forecast, I was not able to know which raw material was less wanted, right? I can't make these mistakes in capitalism. You must agree, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But the good thing is I at least can know that I made this mistake. In communism, you cannot even you can not even know that you made that mistake. It's
yeah, we
impossible for you
can.
to know.
For
No,
example,
okay, you
for
built one over
example,
the other.
let's say that a nation like I don't know, maybe the we are getting it by trade. We are trading we are trading, let's say,
Wait, there is
grain
no trade.
for
There is no trade in your system. There is no trade. There is no
the
market. You are distributing everything.
no by market. It's just a trade. There's no
Wait, how?
market.
Who's
Just
trading with
we are,
who?
let's say,
Who is trading? You're
we are
wait, wait. The
we are
only
allocating the
owner is the
resources.
state. The only owner is the state. Who's trading with who?
There is no state.
Who is owning everything?
There is no owner.
Who is deciding? The owner is the one that is deciding where the good is going to go. Who is the person
Obviously
decide?
not.
What?
Everybody
What
will,
does it mean?
everybody,
Everybody? That you don't have. That doesn't mean anything.
everybody who works at a certain company will have equal representation, equal decision making, depending on their knowledge.
You completely lost. You're completely lost. Do you know what
Well,
ownership
you are
is?
completely lost because
No,
you're
wait.
talking about state when I'm
Do
talking
you know
about
what?
communism.
Do you know what ownership is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So either somebody owns something or it's not owned, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So in communism, all the goods, who is owning them? Who is deciding on what's going to happen with that good?
The government.
The government. So
That
there
is,
is an owner. You just said there is no government. You said there is no owner. But all of a sudden, the government owns the goods, right? That's why I'm saying you're lost.
yeah. The government who is highly democratic and direct
Doesn't
democratic.
matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So when you say then there is trade happening, I'm asking you who is trading with who? The
I'm
government with
sorry.
his.
I use the word trade.
Yeah, you
It
use the
should have
word
been
trade.
the
Yeah.
word. I should have used the word place. For example, let's say that we have a shortage of, say, metal in England, and there is a shortage of, let's say, energy in Italy. England produce a lot of energy, and Italy
Okay.
produce a lot of steel.
So communism only. Okay. So your version of communism is only state bound, and there is still capitalism in between the nations.
There is not there is no capitalism.
So there's free
A
markets.
government of the
There's
people is deciding that the steel that is produced in Italy is better used in England, and the energy that is produced in England is better used in Italy. This is a agreement, not a trade
what's
agreement between a government,
then
in
why
this
do you
case would be
even
probably
have different governments? You
Europe.
can just have one world government if there is agreements in between them. That's just then a law.
There would probably be a world government, but also small
But
ones,
then why do you need England and why do they trade in between each other?
because they don't need a certain thing, but
Yeah,
they
but that would
do
be the
need
same.
another.
But why do you have to switch to nation states? You could just as well stay in the same nation and you would have the same thing between two cities.
Okay, is it not the same?
I mean, I don't know what
I
you.
just made an example. Like,
But what's the example? I'm asking you, where is trade? You're saying trading.
I'm sorry, I should have used the word placing.
Play. What does that mean?
It means that a government is placing a certain resource the government owns the resources. So
Yes.
the government, let's say, of Europe is using the resources that are made in England to help Italy, and the resources of Italy are also taken to help England. Wouldn't be
I have
trade.
no idea what that means.
The government owns the stuff. The government owns everything. It wouldn't be trade. I'm sorry I used trade because we live in a capitalist society and that was the better term.
Yeah, because how would you know
Oh
what
wait,
anything
Wikipedia is
is
here.
worth? How would you know what anything is worth? How would you know what your labor is worth? How would you know which economic decision to take? You have no basis of the. Can I tell you a secret? In the Soviet Union, for example, you know what?
Which was not communist.
It might not be communist, but it was planned economy, right? Would you agree
Okay,
there?
planned by a government that was not democratic by any
Okay,
means.
okay, no, I agree. I agree or I don't agree. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it was planned economy. Do you know that the only way they would have any estimate about what to do in like the you have basically an equation and you're trying to solve it, but you don't have any way of finding out what the price of the variables are. So you know what they did? They just copied the
People
prices.
want.
They just copied the prices of the capitalist governments. Tell
Yeah,
me a
because
system. Give me a
there
system.
were the. It
Wish
was
list
not.
system. Do you want a wish
Eh?
list system? How would a wish list system work?
People ask for stuff, and the government decide if they can get it or not.
Okay, so wake up in the morning and I write a list of things, and then you count the things that I wanted, right?
Yeah.
And then you divide it by the supply that we have of these things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If I can just write the random stuff there, if I can just write as much things as I want there, do you think there will meaningful?
Yeah, but it probably
Do you
wouldn't
think?
be accepted.
Yeah, but how do you decide what's accepted and what's not? You want the wish
The
list.
availability
You
of those things, like you said.
wait. You want the wish list to have an idea of the worth. Wait, let me just
No,
walk you
you
through this.
ask.
You will understand it, Citra. I
You ask
promise
for.
you. I
You
promise
ask for
you.
a
You will
icon.
understand it. I promise you. Let me walk you
Okay.
through this, okay? I'm asking you, how do you know what something is worth in your system, right? What's a valuable good and what's a low value good? That's what I'm asking you. And the answer is we have wish lists. Okay, we know what the supply is, but we have no idea what the demand is, right? So we need to find out.
It's pretty obvious for the wish list.
Yeah, that's why you are introducing the wish list to find out what the demand is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you put we say, okay, we make a wish list system, and everybody starts writing shit there. And then I'm asking you, is that just randomly writing stuff there that you want? Is that a good way of, and then dividing the number of times a good has been mentioned in a wish list, and then dividing that by the supply? Is that a meaningful way of doing that? And then your answer is only if it gets accepted. But how do you decide what's being accepted and what not if you don't have a knowledge about what the value is? Because that's why you're doing the wish list in the first place, right? You want to find out what the value of the goods are.
No.
So how would you decide? How would you decide which goods are being accepted and which not? You have to know the value of the goods in order to distribute them, right?
It's based on their actual need. For example, if people are randomly starting to ask for a wheelchair, even though they don't need it, I'm gonna prioritize the people that like really need it.
Let's say we have covered everything that people need.
Okay.
Let's say you have scientifically find out.
Only on.
Let's say
it will be only based on the demand, like give the people what they want, right?
Bro, then you're saying that I can just randomly write on the wish list and just randomly create demand.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's not how it works. Do you think that's a good way of? Do you know how much this would
Definitely a better
manipulate?
way than definitely a better way than capitalism.
No,
For sure.
wait. So I can just write on my wish list. I want, Citra, I want 5 million iPhones.
If you're the only guy that asks for iPhone, you will get them.
That's not what I
If there
mean.
is
Do you know that an iPhone would be as valuable as the whole world as soon as 100 people do that? Your whole calculations would fall flat. Okay, bro. You don't understand.
People would not get people would not be able to get more than 2 phones. Like, there is no need for people to have more than 2 phones.
It's not about getting it. It's about how do you decide who is getting it. You have to know the value. You have to know the value of something in order to decide if you're going to give it to him or not. If it's fair, how do you know that you're fairly distributing something if you don't know what the objects are in that system?
And you think that a fairly, like, I do it. I can do it. I can. Let's say, if you're talking about smartphones, people don't need two or 2 more iPhones. So I would base it on how many do they already have. That's easy, no? People will automatically get one. You can ask for a second one. That's it. If you're,
Do you see that is
if
random?
you,
Do you realize that is random? That you are
why is
not
it
able to
random?
do? Do you understand that that I'm not saying that you could not just make shit up? I'm not saying that. I realize that you can just, like a parent, just start parenting people. That's not what this is about. It's about if you are able, once you have done all the rules, if then at the end you can say which way is better, through the mountain or around the mountain. If after you have plotted all the variables in, if then you have for each good, you have a value and you can meaningfully say which way is better to construct something, to make a product. I know that you can just make shit up.
I'm not making shit up.
But yeah, if you say one person gets one if they already have a second one, if they don't get one, and blah blah, that's just making shit up. That's not a rule through which we can calculate anything. There is no objectivity there.
It's a really good rule, if I may say so. Definitely better than capitalism, where if you have the money, get it.
Bro,
Like,
you don't understand
you're
the
standing there
problem.
with
You
the
don't understand
person
the
with
problem.
1 million iPhones, and the people that want an iPhone. That's how the system works.
Citra, do you realize that what you want, what we are trying to achieve
Wait,
is...
Border. I'm sorry.
We're trying to achieve
What would
is...
you do? What would you do? What would you do to fix that situation in capitalism?
Oh,
What would you do?
it's pretty easy. I mean, all of but we're changing the subject. But okay, you know what? Sure.
No.
Wait.
Please
I'm gonna
respond,
answer.
sir.
I'm gonna
I have to
answer.
ask.
I promise you, I'm gonna answer.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is now here. I would say I will answer your question, and then maybe I take Wikipedia in because he's already writing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like all the world hunger is completely it's so ridiculously low amount of money that it would take to solve all the world hunger. The problem... What?
I said there is a billionaire that just bought 1 million phones, and there are 1 million people that need a phone. How do you fix that?
I don't, and you cannot see. I can't see that really happens that much. I don't fix it.
Then my system works
I don't
better
feel the
than
need.
yours.
I don't think so.
You don't feel the need. Oh, I'm sorry.
But
People
I
are
don't
just
think
gonna
so.
don't have a phone because this guy decided to buy them. I'm sorry.
I don't know
Just
what point
3
you are
months
making.
again
I have no idea what point you are making.
that
Do
your
you
system
think?
doesn't work
Wait.
and
Do
mine
you
does.
think? Do you think that it is in any way I'm saying that there is no problems in capitalism. Is that the
No,
message
but
that you're
I'm saying
getting?
that you cannot give a response to this question without having to make shit up. That's the
I'm
only
not
way to
making
do it.
shit up. I'm just saying, no, I'm
No,
completely
I'm saying,
admitting.
Board,
I'm not
you didn't
making shit.
understand.
I'm just
No,
admitting
you
that
didn't
there
understand.
is
Please
problems in
let me finish.
capitalism.
Yeah, let me finish. Let me finish.
Yes.
I'm saying that the only way to fix this problem is to, as you said, quote unquote, make shit up. The rule that only two phones for people is a rule that is made the fuck up, but is good. And I'm gonna leave
How
to
do we know that
Wikipedia
it's
to.
good? How do we know that it's good? We have no way of measuring that.
And do you have a way of measuring in capitalism? Are
Yes.
you saying that? Sorry, is it good if what is a thing good based on money? What?
No, based on efficiency, on having a good
Sorry, efficiency.
yes. We have limited amount of
Okay, so
resources. We have limited amount of
the
resources
extermination of Jews was really efficient. Is it good?
in terms of being a mass murdering psychopath. Yeah, a knife that is sharp is good. Yeah, it's a good knife. You know what good means, right? Good does not mean
Yeah,
does
like
not always mean morally good.
I'm gonna leave this to Wikipedia.
Okay.